You're now tuning into the sounds of the Potnas podcast.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you're at on the globe.
Oh, my neck's so
Welcome
tired.
to episode 55 of the Potnas podcast, where we're delivering our perspective on topics, news, and shit. Welcome to the show.
Hey, man.
All right. Without further ado, go ahead and give it up for my right-hand man, the man with the best vernacular out of everybody on the planet.
I like that better.
All right. Give it up for Dino, a.k.a. The Dictionary.
What's going on? Oh, man. Give me something else. Give me something else. Okay, there we go. I like that. There we go.
First one was crazy.
And then I go by a new name, a new term now. Papa Tizzle, baby.
Yeah, baby. Damn, that sounds erotic. It's like a stripper name. Tizzle.
Papa Tizzle, the live thrizzle, baby.
Oh, man.
Because I'm a daddy now. So
See how I feel.
normally, like, a few people start calling me a certain nickname. Like you blessed me with the name Tizzle, and then other people heard that, and then that's where I became Tizzle.
Sure enough.
And then I added a young before that, try to make it a little bit slang, because that was when I was really good at freestyling.
Was there ever a time you were just really good, though, my nigga? I'm trying to think.
That was a jab, huh?
Nah, I'm just trying to think. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Wait, is the young interchangeable with Papa, or is it young Papa?
Now I'm Papa because I'm a daddy now.
Gotcha.
So it's interchangeable.
Yeah.
Young Papa Tizzle would be crazy. Should be wild.
Young Papa.
Papa Tizzle.
Young Papa Tizzle. Oh, that means I'm a 23-year-old.
That sounds like
a 5-year-old walking
WWE
around.
wrestling.
Welcoming young Papa Tizzle.
Young Papa Tizzle.
What the fuck? But ladies and gentlemen, enough of the partners that you hear every episode. I want to go ahead and get ready for this great introduction of our very special guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, shit, man. You may know him as a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, hailing from the University of Texas at Austin. Hey, you might know him in the gym as a personal trainer, previous personal trainer. You may know him in the professional world in consulting and merge and acquisitions. But ladies and gentlemen, God damn it, very here today, we have very special guest, Tarzan Daniel Haskin.
Yo, did you give yourself that nickname, or was that like?
Nah, I actually
Tarzan Dan.
senior year, I think, of college, I dressed up as Tarzan for Halloween. And then,
I can see that being that, but that's crazy because I wouldn't just think to, but I can see that.
I guess the hair.
Yeah, it works
stuck.
out.
Yeah.
The hair, the skin, the archetype or the build. You know what I mean?
Your body.
Yeah, it's your body.
Pause. Just all night long.
Hey,
No, go ahead.
I'm comfortable with my sexuality, nigga. Like, I ain't need no pause for that. What the? Okay. No, I'm just kidding. Sure. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up once again for our special guest, Daniel Haskin, a.k.a. Tarzan Dan. That is his Instagram name. All right. Like how we do for all of our special guests, we ask them 3 questions. Where you from? Your occupation?
From what you do?
And then how you connected to the partners. So, without further ado, Tarzan Dan, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
See, like that.
That was actually a crazy introduction, man. I gotta.
You like that one?
Yeah. The music was "Who Wants to Be a Millionaire."
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember that?
For sure.
It was Regis.
Yeah, the OG one.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm Daniel. Grew up on the southwest side of Texas.
Another world.
Shout out to those from the Wild Wild West.
Let's get it started.
So I am in mergers and acquisitions consulting for a company called PwC. That's what I do for income. But
got the harder coin for you.
What I really enjoy is like fitness, nutrition. Big into anime. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram. You probably know that too.
What was that character that you dressed up as from Demon Slayer?
That was Akaza. He's a upper moon ranked demon. Yeah, upper moon 3.
From Demon Slayer, ladies and gentlemen.
Sure.
Oh,
Do you read the
one of the
mangas, too?
hottest.
I actually I didn't read the manga until this most recent season ended.
But you read it though.
But I read it right after that.
So,
I would suggest for most people, if you are into the anime, to hold off on reading the manga. I would just wait till the anime is complete, because they do an excellent job converting the manga into anime.
Most of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Oh man, we have so much to get into. But you know, the fact that you are an anime fan, like I had asked both of these gentlemen to rock their best anime shirt.
Hey,
we'll do like an unofficial
anime
fit check.
shirt. I like
but
anime shirt.
I had made the mistake. I don't normally do this, where I ask the guests something before I ask my co-host. But in this particular case, I just assumed that Dino had an anime shirt.
Nah,
so I had asked you. I'm like, oh, you know what? Because Daniel had, on the way here, was asking. Well, before he
I don't wear
was on the
everything
way,
I watch.
he asked us what we were going to wear for
Problem.
today. And I told him, I'm like, you know, swag out, but I'm going to wear a shirt that you would appreciate. Matter of fact,
If you would
go
say
ahead
comic
and
book
just-
or like just character,
yeah.
oh yeah, I'll be here and I'll be in the game.
You could have asked me that before.
Nah, but I was already probably dressed.
Okay.
I'm talking about.
All right. Well, anyways, but yeah, no, speaking of anime, yeah, we can get into a kind of like a little bit of an unofficial. Oh yeah. How are you connected to the Potnas first before we get into that?
Yeah, we are connected through UT.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Thank you for not playing the fight song just now.
Bad.
No. I'm not really a fan of that.
I gotta say, you asking us to wear an anime shirt, that was low key a trap by what you showed me in your room, man. Because this guy has the craziest anime gear I've ever seen in person. So
he's a collector. Like
legendary.
he buys them, don't even wear them for real. He just be having them.
You know, that's actually one of my
Trophies or something.
part of my segment that we're going to get into towards the end of the episode. I have a question for you all that kind of speaks to to my collection, right?
I could probably speak on that for sure. I think I know where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But as Daniel alluded to, I gave him a tour of the crib and whatnot, and we went back to our wardrobe closet, and I showed the vault, and I showed him just some of the shirts that I haven't even debuted or put out in the public yet. But I'm a huge anime fan. I'm a huge fan of just graphic tees and comic book characters, as everybody may know. And I'm connected to a lot of different licensed apparel and freelance artists. And,
what do you mean? Like different
licensed merchandise.
Like providers,
stores,
like stores,
providers.
vendors.
Vendors. Thank you. That was the word that I was looking for. But yeah, and I'm just a fan of wearing the stuff that I'm into.
Hold on, because I need to call you out, G.
What you mean?
Just probably a week ago, stopped gatekeeping. Because homie, like, he got all these vendors, all these provider merchandisers. But homie would not say shit about, like, bro, that's a cool shirt.
And normally I'm not like that, but
yo, that's dope.
I feel like if you're worthy, like if you're at the tier, like if I feel like that you respect the craft, then that's when I will kind of let you in.
I found one. I ain't gonna lie, I found one of them on my own, but I just act like I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, word. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool. I like this shirt. I didn't have like 3 shirts picked out. But nah, he just stopped gatekeeping, so y'all need y'all to fire him up.
All right, let's get into icebreakers. So, when you were a personal trainer, Daniel, like, what was the most common issue or mistake that you witnessed, like, when you were heavy into that profession? Like, whenever you picked up clients? Like, you always had to just coach them on something.
Off the top of my head, I think it's because I would always try to introduce people to resistance training or actually lifting weights versus just kind of like telling them to go run a certain amount or just do calisthenics. So obviously there's going to be newcomers going to have issues with form. So I don't think that's I don't think that's exactly what you're getting at though. But I think,
No. We can elaborate on that because improper form is, I would imagine, very common. When I was in the military, like that would be the first thing I would have to address.
100%. I guess what I mean is like, there are some individuals or people that want to get into the gym or want to start their fitness journey and are actually like serious or passionate about it. And they may have poor form too, but they're still, either a lot more coachable, or I would consider them like more realistic, or more like them achieving their goals is a little bit more realistic because they have the passion or like
behind
they're a little bit and they're a little bit more realistic about what to expect, and they're more willing to, I guess, face uncomfortability, discomfort, adversity. So the one thing I think I'd have to like try to call on people is to like here's a good analogy. When you think of it like a GPS, right? If you want to get somewhere, right, they have to know 2 points, right? 2 locations.
Okay. Where you want to go and where you coming from.
Exactly.
Wait, say that again, Dino?
Where you want to go and where you coming from.
And I would be more particular to even say where you currently are.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So a lot of people tend to be unrealistic about like their eating or sleeping habits when they first, want to do personal training. It's like, oh, well, like, I cook all the time, or I like, I only eat, X amount of times a day. And then once I tell somebody like, okay, write down everything you eat for the next X amount of days, it doesn't really line up with what they say in their form. You know what I mean? So,
I think that I have a problem with that. Out of the two, nutrition and fitness, I definitely struggle more with nutrition.
You be working out.
I can be consistent with working out. There's some days where it's really tough.
It's so much what you eat though, because I don't work out as much. I'm not as phically active.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I am. I got 2 kids, yo. I chase around constantly. There's no way.
Oh, that's your fitness.
Pick them up I'm still daddy.
Absolutely.
So like, I think about this stuff too because hurricane season. Like, I gotta be able to save their lives. Like 2 kids, a wife, and a dog. I gotta be able to swim with all of them on my back if some shit go to hell. But like, I'm not as physically actively seeking, like exercise in the way that I used to lift and do all this. I used to be anyway, but I eat really good now. Like I eat pretty clean. I do cook more often than not. When I do eat, I don't even crave.
How frequent do you eat?
Good question. So I didn't even know. So again, I'm from where I'm from. I know what I know. I hadn't heard the term intermittent. I came across the term intermittent fasting.
That's a key one there.
Because I was doing it and I didn't even know that was some shit, right? I love breakfast and brunch. It's my favorite type of food. But in the mornings, I didn't have time to eat that shit when I was working in corporate America, like we were talking about. So I just didn't eat breakfast. Just by the fact that I didn't eat breakfast, but I always had coffee. And usually it wasn't super sweet because I just had the company coffee. They had this bullshit fake creamer shit. It was gross, so I just would drink that. And I wouldn't eat again until like lunchtime. Come to find out, I was breaking fast. I was intermittent fasting. I didn't even notice what I was doing. Is coffee
a suppressant of your appetite?
It's an appetite suppressant.
Okay.
So again, I had no appetite. I got energy. You know what I'm saying? I was mad active in the morning. Had no idea I was doing this thing. And then one of my coworkers was like, oh yeah, are you intermittent fasting? Because I watch in the morning. You just did it. I was like, oh shit, no, I had no idea that was a thing.
So do you believe, Daniel, or you can probably bust this myth that genetics has a lot to do with appetite, your cravings, and not necessarily like, of course, we understand that it has to do with habits, but does genetics play a factor into how often you eat, what you are attached to or addicted to?
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
100%.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for confirming that.
It's because it's not like here we go, that word duality here, right?
Yeah.
But both genetics and your environment and your habits are going to have an influence on
like nature versus nurture.
100%. And they both of those things exist, so they both are going to have an influence.
Yeah.
So just the way like somebody, if somebody experiences something traumatic, right, a loss of a loved one or whatever, they may take that and like grow from it or or continue to move on with their lives. Other people could have a psychotic break, you know what I mean? And that's part in due to whatever their brain chemistry is. Same thing is with your appetite, your physical features, traits, the same things that make some people grow more muscular than others, more or less hairy, more or less, tall or short, slow or fast, everything. Like the same thing with your behaviors and dispositions.
I can get toned very fast in my arms, my chest, and my legs, but my stomach, man. But I think my stomach just is a reflection of what I eat as well.
You work that core, though? You work that core?
Oh yeah, bro. Like no other. Like I think I can hang with Daniel. Is what I can say about my core. But my core won't look like Daniel because Daniel eats much better than I do, much cleaner than I do.
But you don't just eat like, well, I don't know how you eat, honestly. But I don't imagine you just eat just bullshit all the time.
I put it like this.
I think you did have 2 cheesy ass pizzas in there.
Right. And the time that I eat too, I normally don't eat this late, right? But it's only because I didn't eat at like hardly anything earlier today as well. And it's pod day, right? So there's be days where I'll make the exception, which actually leads me to a question that I want to ask later on. But I'll wait until we get to the highlight topic. But there was another thing that you had said earlier, Daniel, in that last statement that you made about how it's tied to, genetics and how it's tied to habits as well. I feel bad for women that enter motherhood.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's a totally different monster.
And then there's really no way for them to work out. Like Sam, for example, like she's realistically not going to be able to consistently work out until Keiko is able to enter grade school, kindergarten, right? Because at that point, she doesn't have to necessarily wake up as early. Or no,
there's ways to get it though, G. But it
depends on what you got going for your
how much
schedule,
does that mean
your daily
to
routine.
you, and what do you have going on, and how much does that mean to you? Where is that in the priority scale? Because I don't work out consistently like I used to either. Bro, I used to do all kind of shit, about boot camp exercises. Used to run mad miles. Used to lift. Used to do all this shit. I don't do any of that anymore.
Well, you also don't have to breastfeed. You also don't have to prepare like meals.
No, but I'm saying like there's people who do that but working out to them is a top priority. They were working out before they got pregnant. They worked out all throughout their pregnancy. They lifted throughout and so like that's just such a part of their life.
But you name two parts. You name 2 parts of life that didn't involve an actual physical child being here. And so when the child gets here, you said before and then during the pregnancy. But you didn't talk about mentioned specifically after. What I'm talking about is right after in the next 3 years. No, it's not because the baby's waking up all throughout the night. You're not having to wake up.
Nothing to do with you working out.
Yes, it does because it deals with time.
Okay, in the comments, any one of you, I'm not a womb man.
I guarantee you're not going to see as many women work out postpartum, post pregnancy.
I'm just saying it's possible.
It is possible depending on what they got going on
and how much it means to you. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, it is a factor, but it's significantly harder for women than it is for guys.
I got a lot of shit going on right now. We all do. But some shit I'm going to do. I'm going to just be honest. I can have everything going on. I'm going to do this thing.
Because you work at home.
No. I haven't said what the thing is. For me, it's not working out. I'll be honest. I'm not working out like that.
Oh, you're speaking.
There are some things
generally
that I'm going to do this.
Like what?
Sex with my wife. It's gonna happen. I don't care how busy I am. I don't care how crazy life gets. I'm gonna make time for that.
But you don't have to change for sex. It's more like taking clothes off. The activity lasts for anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes. And then you don't necessarily have to shower afterwards. Wait, hold on. Listen. No, because I want you to be a little bit more. Let's dig a little deeper. Okay. And Daniel, please intervene at any point. But when you work out, it's an entire process that takes at minimum an hour.
I'll say this. Yeah. So when I'm in the gym, I can take up to 2 hours. So I'll lift weights for between 60 and 90 minutes, and then I'll have a 30-minute cardio session afterwards.
Goodness gracious.
But
but you don't have to be that.
It don't have to be.
I think for the average person, the time you should spend in the gym is between 45 minutes and 75. Ooh. So 45 and an hour 15.
So let's go with, but for this hypothetical, 45.
But I will say this: you don't even have to apply a certain amount of time. If somebody is not used to like rigorous working out, and then you get hit with like a pregnancy or having to take care of a whole nother life, like. Also, like you said, we talked about those genetic predispositions as well. You know what I mean? Right. Like so y'all are kind of both right in the sense that like if someone is a like let's say there's a woman bodybuilder.
Yeah,
and she is to the point where let's say she's not taking hormones or whatever, and she's purely natural. But this is like her whole fitness, her IG is a fitness page, and like her life is like is manifesting the physique that she envisions in her brain. That's her life. Or even if it's not just her outward appearance, it's maybe it's her strength level.
and it's already incorporated in her life.
It's possible that like she can have kids and still like make that an emphasis on her life. Is it gonna? Clearly, it's not gonna take up as much time as before.
Clearly,
but me as a person to play your side, JT. Me as a person who's very into fitness, if I fall off for like 3 weeks or 4 weeks, getting in that gym the next day is gonna feel like climbing a fucking mountain. Yes. You know what I mean? Like. So
and you're not lying. I've experienced that. So
to somebody
that's why I don't work out now. Every time I try, nigga, shit be hurting. I was doing basic shit like push-ups and pull-ups, but I was burning the next day. It was terrible.
You also
2 days later, I think it was.
You also like go straight, like you go cold turkey, Dino, and go
jump
straight
right into because that's what I'm just jumping back into what I
don't know how to
do.
gradually go back into working out.
Yeah.
And it's a process. And Daniel, I want you to spend some time on that too. Like, and hence why I'm sure you got your certification in being a physical trainer or a personal trainer, but like there's certain
that's true
phases and parts of the process that people need to understand and that they skip over almost, if you will. Like people think that getting into fitness or getting physically
That's how I lost that race.
Yeah, because you didn't know how. Right.
Well, I was like,
you skipped processes and you thought it was just going to be a straight drag race.
I was fast, bro. And
I'm a slow burner.
I hadn't ran in so long.
We did this race back in season 3.
How far were y'all running?
It was a sprint.
It was just a 40 meter.
My ankles got to pop in my knees.
Yeah. I knew that he hadn't been working out consistently, and I had been running.
A few weeks before,
I
hadn't ran like in a while.
But I'm short and stocky, right? So I don't look like
I know I'm faster than this nigga in real life, though. I'm just out of shape. But in real life, there's no way.
But he lost twice.
Trying to bring your body to a full on sprint if you have not sprinted or run consistently.
Kevin Hart is a prime example.
Yeah, you're risking yourself. Yeah.
He broke his shit because he was trying to perform at the level of a previous NFL wide receiver. Of course, you're not gonna like he was keeping up, but look at what it cost.
In a wheelchair,
right? He tore his abductors within like the thigh area, right, or like in the groin area.
Wait, who is this?
Kevin Hart.
He was.
You didn't hear about
same
this?
Exact shit. Talking
last
shit
week,
like I was to him.
He was talking smack. And
this was last week.
This was last week. Yes, at the beginning of last week. And he put out a video before it came out because he knew that Shade Room and everybody else was going to pick it up. But
he broke his own story.
He's like,
I know you're gonna be talking about it. But
and he's in a wheelchair.
He's in a wheelchair right now. Yeah. And he's not being seen. He ain't doing no shows right now. Like that nigga is stuck.
He came out like, this why you ain't gonna see me before they tell you this what happened.
They were at a picnic and he was joking about it too. Whatever. The good thing about Kevin Hart is that he does a great job of like making fun of reality, right? Especially for him. Like, so he was saying that they were at a they were at a kickback and they were talking shit and he was like, "I'll race you right now." So they went in the street and they got positioned and whatnot and he kept up with him. He didn't pass him up or anything, but he was with him for like majority of the race, and then you can see when his body said no. He's also 44 years old too, so age caught up. But Kevin Hart, we know him to be consistently working out. He was sponsored by Nike. He has a deal with Fabletics. So this guy does fitness, but you think about the stature, right? His physical stature and his background versus who was the
I don't know. I don't remember name.
Stephen Ridley or some forgot what his name is. But
that was me.
Yeah.
I was Kev. I broke my foot playing basketball with my nephews.
He tore his muscles in his abductors and his abdomen. And therefore he can't
0
even
to 100
straight.
Real quick.
So 0 to 100, he had that burst effect and that's why I was like, tore his body up.
You gotta warm up into that.
But people don't understand how to warm up. They think a warm up is just like okay, I'm done. Like I stretch my arm, I stretch my.
Who is people though? I feel like you talk about me, but
I'm talking about no. I'm not.
We was talking about me.
I'm talking about
because I go from 0 to 100 too.
The mass is like his clientele.
But I may be one of them because like I haven't successfully eased into my shit easy.
You already admitted to that. Yeah, you admitted to that. So you don't know how to gradually go into working out.
I mean, yeah, I can.
Okay, so prime example. I'm about to prove my point right now.
Oh, shit.
Explain what you would do if you started working out tomorrow.
No, I mean, I think
how do you warm up?
Oh, this is real. Like
at your peak, how many pull-ups were you able to do?
Oh, see,
that's what I was just asking.
That's
right
what
now.
you don't want to do because I'll do like even out of shape and with
nonstop.
Having not
how
done
many
a pull-up
pull-ups
at
like your peak were you able to do?
5 months, 6 months.
At your peak,
we could throw a pull-up bar on this.
Dino,
right
answer the fucking question.
I know I can do
please.
more pull-ups than you. Is what I'm getting at.
It's not about me. I'm asking you. I'm trying to prove a point.
Okay, how many pull-ups do you do right now?
Why are you making it about me? I'm asking you
because I'm trying to contextualize how many I can do.
So 15. You can do 15.
20. I can do 20.
No, I'm not talking about me. I'm saying you. 15? I'm just putting a number because I'm trying to drive home a point for our listeners.
But why pull-ups?
Huh?
Okay. 15. I can do 15.
So you say at your peak you did 15 straight.
Oh,
right?
Peak? No, that's light.
This nigga don't listen.
That's light.
25 then. Let's do 25. I know for a fact that your peak you couldn't do 25 straight, more than 25 straight without a pause. No, there's no fucking way that you.
All right, y'all.
Daniel, how many?
Go ahead.
How many pull-ups can you do nonstop straight?
I weigh 150 pounds, bro.
Right now, I think conservatively, I could say I could hit like maybe 40.
But look at you and look at him.
Yeah, but you
Bro,
always,
I'm lying.
fucking
What you mean I'm lying?
You always look like that.
Pull-ups is
That's
different,
my
though.
point.
Exactly. Pull-ups is different.
Yeah.
What?
You're probably not hitting them in correct form. All right, that's not the point. Let's say that you can do 25 uninterrupted.
25, have it
Fine.
out of shape.
Let's do 40 then.
Out of shape.
Let's do 40. Say at your peak, you were able to do 40 consistent.
Okay.
Right? Without any interruptions, without any break. Right? 40. If you were to start working out tomorrow after being off for 6 months, you would literally try to accomplish those 40. And
I'll give you 20, 25.
No, I'm not saying that. That's
you're saying like I'm gonna go for the 40.
You're gonna go for the 40, and that's why you're gonna. That's an example of how.
No. You asked what would I do? So if
that's what you would do.
No. Now that you gave me a scenario, no, I would go for the 20 or the 20, and I'll start with maybe 10 just to see how I feel. Then I'll probably go 15. I'll go 20, but I might try to get to that 40 though.
You shouldn't even be trying to do collect. Even if you broke it up, you shouldn't be going for 40. Is what I'm saying. You should be breaking. If you're going to break it up into 5 segments, the max that you should do is 20. That's how you gradually ease into things.
I'm probably doing 5 sets of 20.
Is what I'm saying.
Do you know that mathematically that's way more than 40.
But the point that I'm trying to drive home, is that people don't have the knowledge of how to warm up or gradually go into working out and ease into.
People don't know how to work out at all. Like in general, people don't really. I've found people don't know how to really use equipment for real. People don't know how to like proper form. A lot of people don't know. They may do what they've been told or what they've seen, but they don't know. Like if they're really trying to get rid of this or do this thing, they may not know the right way to get there. Myself included.
Yeah, and bringing it back to Daniel, that's the benefits of hiring a personal trainer. I'll put it like this.
Yeah, pay for it. Yeah,
people in general, and I am generalizing this, but Americans, right?
Oh shit.
I'll use this analogy. And it's more so speaking to a particular ethnic group. And I'm sure you'll be able to guess this right off the top after.
Let's hear this.
All right. So
Collard
a particular Americans, a particular ethnic group will spend money on materialistic things a certain amount, right? Not even think twice about it. But when it comes to food or groceries, they're conscious about how much they're spending. Right?
You think so?
Yeah. So for example, you will spend $30 on a meal, right?
Okay.
You need like 2 or 3 of the meals throughout the day on a daily basis.
Okay.
But on the monthly subscription of Hulu, you like think twice about that. Like when you think about things that you need to cut back, budget wise, why do people
Bro, chill.
Why do people immediately think about, all right, things I got to cut back? Do I really need this subscription? Bro.
Well, but I mean, I'm not mad at that.
$20 for a subscription for a month versus $30 that you spend on one meal in a day when you're going to eat 2 more meals.
Oh, you're saying
later on
cut the Hulu and keep the meal?
Exactly.
Oh,
right.
I see what you're saying.
Exactly what I'm saying.
I misunderstood that.
And
is
so
the meal healthy though?
Applying back, no, not necessarily.
It's like
because you can get way further $30 on groceries than you can.
Exactly. Right. But a lot of the logic now between
convenience.
Exactly. When groceries versus eating out, people will be like $30 of groceries. I still got to spend gas to get there. I got to take my time to drive there, get the get the items, bring it back to my car, load it, get it back home, cook it, prepare it, using pots and pans. Now I got to clean the pots and pans. Afterwards, I got to clean up. Then I got to eat and then enjoy the meal. By the time like all that process is over, 2.5 hours has passed by.
Yeah, I think though, a lot of it is based on education and exposure too.
Facts.
You know, so a lot of people in our community, you know, in the areas we grew up in, there was not a Whole Foods nearby. There's not a
still ain't.
Yeah,
In a lot of places, you may have an Aldi. Maybe.
That is one of, as much as I bash social media, that is one of the beautiful things about social
facts.
media is the fact that
Bro, I done cooked like 10 dishes off TikTok, man.
I've dogged social media and journeys, but like this, both things have been very instrumental for a lot of people. I see almost 90% of my friends that I'm connected to on social media are all posting fitness journeys and like their walk in life and saying like, hey, this, I'm not necessarily posting this for y'all. It's more so for me as motivation to keep me going. Right. And to track my progress, and posting it and for others to see also kind of helps them, holds them accountable.
Accountability,
yeah, because
I feel like fitness is becoming more of a diverse thing too. Whereas most people, you know, back then probably associated with like, oh, you know, I just want to either get really ripped or look good,
have
with
a certain
clothes
aesthetic
on.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like, okay, fitness can be like, you know, yoga, meditation. You know what I mean? And basically how physical activity maybe impacts your mental and emotional experience as well.
And food, how food impacts your mental.
1,000%.
yeah, the hormones associated with it, right?
Well,
right?
I've seen such a vast shift, and I'm curious to get your thoughts on this. Okay. You've been somebody, even just now we were talking about how certain like aversion to certain things shape your desire to even have or interact with those things. Like me, bro, I don't have the desire to even buy some of the bullshit I used to eat. I've replaced it with other things, and I don't even crave them anymore. So in the same sense, if you do well, so like I maybe used to eat a lot of sweet shit, honey buns and Oreos or whatever, and now, bro, I go in there and get a sweet plum or nectarine, carve it up with a sharp knife, and I'm a country boy, so like I just eat that. You know, my point is, if I want something sweet and cold, I'm gonna go for that instead of going for, I don't know, the ice cream, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But my point is like, I don't even crave some of the shit I used to really just was a normal Chip Ahoy Chewies were my shit.
Yeah.
They were my shit.
The soft ones.
The soft ones, bro. What? Those was my, I would just, I smashed a whole pack of them before I even looked up. And I never could gain weight. So it was like my superpower.
Daniel, why did you stop being a personal trainer? Or do you still do it?
Mostly just because I feel like, I mean, I'm willing to give, you know, people advice, or if somebody wants to talk or like about, you know, how much they're lifting or their eating habits, like I'll do that. But as far as like doing something formal where I have like a, you know, a set program or plan laid out, that requires a lot of like time and energy, which, I mean, I like to do it, but it's like, I still gotta, I don't know. I still got my 9 to 5, and that takes a lot of time.
Oh, okay.
And I wouldn't want to charge nobody if I couldn't give them like my full investment. You know what I mean?
So it is kind of attributed to the 9 to 5, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Did you make a lot of bread like when you were a personal trainer?
No, well, I really only had like a few clients, and it was just like, okay, this is something I can do just because, you know, this was like right after I competed in my first show. So I was like, at this point in my life,
you was in there.
Yeah, I was like really identifying with like the fitness, I guess, industry like heavily. But I don't know, that's one thing I kind of wanted to get across is that, you know, fitness and nutrition and just overall your physical, bodily, corporal health is not something that has to be your complete identity. Yeah, for it to be like a part of your identity. You know what I mean? You
Expound on that.
You can still take care of yourself and it not be like, because I feel like that's a lot of what maybe shy people away from like getting started on their fitness journey is that like, oh,
I don't look a certain way.
Yeah, or like
all this work that I'm putting in these past 2-3 weeks or months.
Or before they even put any work
in.
Even before they put in work in, it's just like, oh, this is not something like I can identify with. You know what I mean?
You haven't earned it yet.
And it's like, I don't know. You can never be perfection doesn't exist because better exists, and that's always good. You know what I mean?
It's like, always better.
Yeah.
I love that.
So it's like realizing like just like we talked about the GPS, right? Like just understanding your starting point is gonna help you get to where you want to go. You know what I mean? And like because like part of that is like also like okay, knowing okay, I'm not here, but I'm not also further back than I'm thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So like
tempered goal setting and objective setting is extremely important versus
critical.
achieving the goal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, what I guess in other terms, in layman's term, right, is appreciating the process and the journey.
I talk about it all the time.
Right,
dude. Have you seen this guy on YouTube? His channel's called Huberman Lab.
No,
Cold dude.
Not familiar with that.
Well, he talks a lot about like the psychology behind like goals, and he's heavily into like fitness and nutrition stuff too, right? But he talked about this crazy study that they did on kids and how they would give them a questions or homework or a test, and the first round they did really well. One group of kids, they said, "Oh, great job, you're so smart, you're so intelligent." The other group of kids, they said, "Great job, you worked so hard. You put so much effort into it."
Yeah.
And so instead of like rewarding the actual achievement or the innate, I guess, like characteristic that, like you would associate with like achieving something, they rewarded the effort,
that
the
you
journey.
put into it. Yeah.
And so then they gave them another set of tests, right? The second round, and the latter group scored higher. A more difficult problem, I'll say, because the first group, right, which I'm sure like a lot of us experience, especially like being black males and going to UT, is like, okay, at a certain point you kind of have to get out of this predisposition of like, of good things happen to me, and you get used to like things going well because you're smart, or because you're on that next level, and then like once you get to undergrad or like whatever you're,
all that
next
shit's
level,
out the window,
bro. Yeah,
and none of that shit matters no more.
We all on the starting line.
Yeah. Now you got to work. Now you got to. I didn't know how to study when I went from college, from high school to college. I didn't know what I was cramming the bullshit and papers test night before. That didn't work at UT. That shit didn't work for me.
Not at all.
I
can't do that.
I got a 2.5 on a 4.0 scale for my first year. I mean, no, not my first year. My first
semester.
Semester, right? And that was the first time I had made a C in my life.
I think I had a 1.25
for a grading period. And so it humbled me very fast. And 100%. I questioned a lot about like, dang, I started thinking about going into the military, like, and quitting college, because how I even got to college, I was going to go to Broadway. I was going, like, all my accolades and everything that had been leading up to like my senior year was leading me to New York or to California. And after that audition, they wanted to send me to California. I was like, no, I want to be on stage. I don't want to be behind film. Like, I don't want to do that. So that's how I ended up at college. And then when that 2.5 smacked me across the face in that December, 2010, I was like, man. And then I had a conversation with my brother who was already in the military at the time. And he was like, dude, just come on this side. And it was so easy for him to say that to me because he was already in. He didn't respect school at all, because he barely passed, even though he's smart as a whip, but he didn't the school system wasn't his thing at all. And so he was just, and it wasn't a lot of people staying from the hood, right? Or where we come from, north side of Houston, right? And so and at that point, I had to come to reality and really sit down and be honest with myself. And then at that point, I was like, let me at least try next semester, because when you go to college, you experience so much, right? For the first time, because your first time, like, without your parents, traditionally or generalized, right? Your first time by yourself, when you're living on your own, you determine your schedule, your accountability is all going to be dependent on you, right? And how you go to class and whatnot. If you set your alarm, right? If you never had to set an alarm before and your parents set it for you, you learn real fast how difficult it is, right? Exactly. And so, just simple things like that. But
you touched on that point right there of like, assessing or realizing you actually have to like try, because the problem with like that first set of kids, right, and like all of us before getting to college, is that you identify your yourself with the result of like doing well. Yeah. So as soon as not doing well comes across, you're like, oh, that's a reflection of me. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
I'm really hard on myself like that.
What they're trying to do, like with those second group of kids, is like, oh, like the process is like your tool, your bread and butter. You know what I mean? Not the result.
Not the
And that's
end.
good
right.
because, bro, no one can take that from you.
And that's the
I've
same
earned
thing.
my expertise, and no one can take that from
Exactly.
And Daniel
And that's
has
the same thing with fitness. Though,
Yeah.
is that
Yes.
is why people
I see.
don't want to
That's
like
good.
either continue or start is because they think I won't get the end result or whatever that
They're
I'm
supposed
seeing with other people or that I
yeah.
envision.
It can be two ways too on how that happens, right? Like I'm so used to getting everything I want, it just comes natural for me, and this fitness shit isn't doing that. Fuck it, maybe it's just me, or maybe it's for the fitness in general, or whatever.
What's number two?
Number two is more so like the people that is associated with his example is people aren't there and they're already intimidated by the process. Like I'm never going to attain that.
I'm
like,
wondering if like societal pressures play a point. Because
I would imagine.
I'm thinking about people who are like thinking, okay, or like take like earlier I was talking about like, even the way that I eat so vastly different than I used to.
Right.
It's just out of like wanting to try do better. But there are people like we've started Meatless Mondays. But I really don't. I don't have to ascribe to any certain ideological perspective, or I don't have to. You don't have to stamp me with certain things. I am not a vegan, nor do I aspire to be. But there's some vegan food that's fucking fire. And if I don't have to eat meat, then why am I gonna? Like my point is, it's certain things that I think people get too caught up in, like being something or you know what I mean, like.
100%.
Just do that because if that's what you want to do, try that, and if it works for you, cool. But I do think there's something important that when I found this, it made a difference for me was like goal casting, or vision casting rather, goal setting. You can just work out forever and make good work of it. Do a good job at it, be consistent. But if you don't know where you want to go, then what's the measure of success for you?
Yeah,
You know
that makes sense.
Those KPIs.
When I really thought about what I want to achieve,
corporate talk,
it made a difference for me. For sure.
Are the rumors true about male personal trainers and women?
Oh, hell.
So
That's what the listeners really want to know, right?
so
Y'all be fucking, bro. Y'all be fucking y'all women
so
clients.
nah. I only had 3 clients, and all of them I knew like personally, like they weren't. I didn't meet them through
personally,
like training. Yeah, like one was like. I called my cousin. Yeah, I called my cousin, but I know this is like a 7. We used to snowboard.
Yeah,
together.
baby.
No,
I'm just kidding.
But
You used to snowboard again.
I was like, you just breezed past that shit.
Wait.
You used to snowboard.
No.
You say you from Southwest side. You from Texas.
Yeah.
You spent some time in Denver or in
his family, his
the
parents,
Poconos?
they snowboarded when they were younger, and so that's how they knew my parents, and so that's how we all got started on snowboarding. But like you said earlier about like, if somebody prioritizes it enough, they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
That's one of my things. Like, I don't care if I'm dead broke and don't have a job or a place to lay my head. I'm gonna find a way to raise some money and go
Snowboard.
to
That's
when it's
that's
season,
dope.
at least
Yeah.
once a year.
Yeah.
You know, a funny thing about snowboarding is that was my dream job.
Snowboarding?
Yeah, when I was growing up. But think about a kid in the hood in Greenspoint,
I've never heard you talk
Texas.
about snowboarding.
I've always that was my number one.
You've
thing.
never gone?
When no, I've been several
okay.
times.
Oh, yeah,
yeah. And so, but I just was fascinated by the X Games when I was growing up. And Sean White. Oh man, dude. And he was our age coming up. And so when I saw him doing that, I was like, yo, that's possible for me. But then I would tell my friends, and they would just laugh me
because
all day because it's just like
Houston.
We ain't never gonna see snow and stuff. Exactly. And then plus like we were poor growing up, so it wasn't like I had family any way of getting to the slopes like in Colorado or in the Poconos. I didn't even know that Poconos was a thing until we moved to Philly.
So, shameless plug here. I'm a part of an organization called the Black Millennial Ski Club.
What?
Yeah. We just had a second trip.
That's dope.
This past March.
Come on.
But we're having a little interest meeting tomorrow next week.
An interest meeting.
Not
a fraternity.
Not an interest meeting. If you're
interested, like an informational, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh my God.
We're like, hey, we're gonna test y'all's knowledge.
Come express interest.
Why you want to be? You know our founder members. You know our founders. What are our objectives?
No,
name the jewel, run the jewels.
Not run the jewels. If you're interested in going on a trip, but yeah, our whole thing, along with there's a larger organization that's mostly like older folks called the Brotherhood of Skiers.
The Tuskegee. The Tuskegee.
The Brotherhood of Skiers?
Skiers, yeah.
Okay.
National Brotherhood of Skiers, like an NBS is what they call it.
Hey, how fast can you get down the slope, nigga?
No, what their thing is, the whole I guess the whole thing is like they try to go in large groups, like seasonally, so that we can negotiate with like the resorts for lower rates, because if that's the main and lower rental prices for equipment, so that's the main barrier.
If that's the barrier to entry,
exactly. So it's like, okay, well, we just all go together.
That makes sense,
and then it's gonna be cheaper, for everybody. So
come on now,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
I dig that.
Tom Joyner Cruise.
And what was it called again?
National Brotherhood of Skiers is the larger organization. Our group is like, we try to cater. We try to get more
young black ski
25 to 35 out there. Like,
how can people access that on IG, or is it a website that they visit?
Yeah, we got an IG at Black Millennial Ski Club.
Black Millennial Ski Club.
Yeah.
That's player.
Yeah,
I went skiing for the first time when I turned 30.
How was it?
It was amazing.
Yeah,
it was literally amazing, bro.
Yeah, no, I tell people like,
which one's harder?
Okay, it's harder to advance as a skier. It's easier to like, not fall in the beginning.
It's easier to start.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
But harder to master. Snowboarding is harder to learn the fundamentals. Once you get that, you pick up the pace quick. Yeah.
I was testing your knowledge.
Snowboarding was harder to stop snowboarding than it was skiing. Because skiing, you just turn them in and you good.
Mm-hmm. Let's get into news.
Oh, damn, we just now here? Oh, Lord. What we talking about, Tizzle?
All right, so we got 3 points. Want to see what y'all want to kind of get into first. Miguel back piercing, Foot Locker shares decline, and Drake 21 Savage fans and boundaries. Which one of the three do y'all want to get into? I'm curious to hear about it. So I must say, full disclosure, that the 21 and Drake and the Miguel shit, like I saw the Miguel shit, so it's not like new, but I don't know much beyond what I saw, and what I saw was kind of Ripley's Believe It or Not type shit. But the Drake and 21 shit, I'm curious about that. You want to go into that first? Well, let me hear what happened, and then I'm curious because boundaries with. Well, go ahead. Fans at Drake's concerts have been getting a bit handsy during his entrances. So during his entrances, he comes from the top of the stadium or the arena, and then he's walking through the crowd to get to the center of the stage. At a recent concert, a fan put her hand around his neck. Damn. 21 Savage got a glimpse of this too, but his reflexes showed he wasn't with that. He basically muffed the fan. And if you aren't familiar, then go ahead and take a look at this video. This is the video. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you'll be able to see the fan is basically trying to grab his neck and waddle him like a turkey. Swipe it. Yeah. So swipe it, and then you'll see 21 Savage. The girl is more aggressive. And then look. She comes back, and then once he passes, she tries to grab him from the back, and the security, wards her off. But what kind of? Wow. What is going on? The girls are clearly drunk. The ones that are. But why are they going for the neck? What's happening? I don't know what is the trend behind that. They shouldn't be that in the mix. Though. They should be coming in out of a tunnel where kind of like in basketball security games. Is mad far back, bro. Yeah. So let's kind of unpack this a little bit. Yeah, let's go. So there's always risk when you're going through and interacting in the crowds as a notable artist, especially of Drake and 21 Savage's tier, right? But when you go through that as a fan, you should also understand. But they drunk, right? And so the idols is right there in front of them. They see the idols, right? Then maybe that's the issue, is the idolization. I mean, because I'm a huge Drake fan. If it was me, I'm thinking, I'm not gonna lie, I'll put my hand out, but for him to replace Drake with a woman that you super admire, and I've been waiting on this moment to touch you. You're right here. You want to switch the genders, is what you're saying? Well, yeah, because high five of Drake, you're not gonna grab the homie neck or grab his balls, but we have video of that happening for these women. So I'm like, replace Drake with a woman that you admire. I mean, that would be even more reason for me really not to touch, but but I'm like, I'm trying, you know what I'm saying? Because they're the opposite. No, 100%, 100%. Gotcha, bitch. If I see Rihanna walking through looking great, and you lit, am I gonna look? I'm not. But I'm not gonna even the most aggressive shit. You wouldn't, but Trump a nigga style, grab her by the. I'm still first of all,
But see, there's the double standard too, though. Because if a man does that, he's immediately getting hauled the fuck away.
You know why Beyonce would never do that, some shit like that? Because of the Beehive. I don't know what Drake's fandom is called, but the Beehive has to be the most obsessive fan group I've ever seen since Michael Jackson.
It ain't even that. It's security. I need better security.
But you talk about like the impact that artists have on people, right?
Grab my neck.
When Michael Jackson was alive in the 90s, and the 80s, he had some of the most iconic suits and performances and songs.
He was the king of pop,
right? King of music,
one of the best performers,
right?
Best entertainers. They
ever.
Him best.
And
homie didn't have people grabbing his neck.
No, homie had people passing out when they saw his presence. He wouldn't even be in close proximity. He just would show
He'd be
up
on stage,
pop up on stage.
White women in the
then,
audience would pass out. That's wild. Yeah, I know, that's crazy.
Yeah, and they had stretchers.
What kind of power?
Dude.
That's crazy.
Like they were. I remember I was 5 years old when I saw him perform at the Super Bowl, and they were wheelchairing and stretching people. You remember that? You remember watching that?
What kind of power you have as a human being? What kind of energy you must project?
He just stood there. He popped up on stage like Rey Mysterio, boom,
with a white shirt,
and he just stood there.
You talking about on TV? You weren't. You were there?
No, on TV.
No, on TV.
On TV.
Nah, fuck no.
He had like this is in the era of the curly hair, the white thick socks, and the black.
I remember, and he just stood there for like 2 minutes straight.
Like this.
And he stood there for 2.5 minutes, and people just falling
passing out.
And you would have thought that they were like actresses and stuff, whatever. No, it was guys too.
I've seen people
passing
cry
off and
in
crying,
like Eastern Europe,
bawling.
He'd be at a show in fucking Estonia, and people passing out,
which is a real place, by the way.
Crying.
Educate yourself. And
people will be
look that up.
literally in tears, crying, bro.
Yeah,
I was like,
so
I mean, there's no one that I feel that way about.
But now, like, I don't remember seeing people grope and grope and trying to handle Mike like how they were trying to do 21 and Drake.
We live in a different era, bro.
Like she grabbed his neck, she grabbed Drake's neck and waddled his neck, like it waddled his neck fat. Yeah. Like that shit is crazy, bro.
Mad disrespectful.
Like and he laughed it off. He laughed it off, right?
Balls grabbed.
Nigga, when I put it like this. I'm a nobody, right? When I probated when I probated,
oh yeah,
fam, we did the same thing. We like strolled through the crowd.
Y'all were like shirtless,
and they were no, we weren't shirtless. No, we had the white button ups with the red tie, the brown suspenders, and
this was as y'all was making y'all
as we were making the entrance, they were grabbing
post mask
our nut sack, lifting it up, like literally jiggling it, and saying, "Hey," like and whispering in our ears. We had the pillowcases over our heads, so we
men or women?
Pause,
Do you
but
know? You don't even know.
No, it was women because we could see through the cape. But at the same time, look, see, like okay,
jiggling your balls. That's crazy.
You're not even in a fraternity. You already hating niggas. All right, anyways, but what I'm saying is like the fandom was there just for us, like crossing a fraternity at our school, right? So just imagine, like they assumed a lot of risk going through the crowd, and they're the biggest artists in hip hop, and Drake is the biggest artist on the planet, probably right behind or right before Beyonce, right?
Drake.
And so
I mean, he's up there.
Yeah, and so him walking through the crowd, the fact that because Beyonce is number one.
Oh, okay.
Like, okay, I finally admitted, right? No, look. We talked about that earlier, right? And this is a little bit of a tangent.
Nah. Keep going. What you saying?
What I'm saying is, like, that was a huge risk for him to walk through the crowd, but
yeah,
I think the fact that was mild, right? The fact that
him getting choked out.
No, he didn't get choked out. He just got groped and grabbed, right?
That was a lot, though.
But listen, the fact that that's all that happened kind of shows how he has a handle of his audience and his fans.
I don't want none of my fans to put their hands around my neck.
I think, but
Beyonce couldn't do what Drake just did. Is what I'm saying.
Beyonce has though. She's walked through crowds without.
No, she has not. She has not walked through crowds like what Drake in 21 just did. I promise
I can pull up a video on YouTube of her walking through some crowd of some form. Here's my point.
We'll talk about it next time.
She's going to be walking through that bitch with the most widest of walkways with the best security, who's going to have a runway a mile long,
10 foot
without anyone within arm's reach of.
So then that's not necessary. That's walking through a pathway that has been made for you in the crowd.
But it shows. I think it shows the gap between the two though, because like you said, for sure. Like Mike could never do what Drake just did. No. And I don't think
no one would ever touch it. No one would allow him to touch it
because there's too many unknowns. You know what I mean? As
So
much
you don't
as you like
risk
to think that the normal, like the normal person is like respectable and has sense and is like not going to violate your personal space.
I'm pretty sure if a woman punched him in the face, then he would cease that and then find a different way to get to
a
that
woman
stage.
grab his neck, G.
That's but he's still walking through the crowd is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so what y'all are saying is he's not that big of an artist to be able to walk through the crowd.
I don't think he should. He shouldn't be doing that in the first place. He is that big of an artist, but like what I'm saying is at least like somebody like Beyonce knows. She would never even attempt that. Part of that too is being a woman.
Being a woman, and then also because if she was doing that, she wouldn't even make it to the stage because they would literally be all over her.
There's people. I mean,
like, and what I'm saying is, I think that there's a difference between Drake's fandom. That's the point I was trying to get at was Drake's fandom, Drake's fan group versus Beyonce's fan group. Let's call Drake's fan group like the Sixes, right? And then the Beehive. Beehive, they have a crazy obsession. There's more.
I don't even think it's all,
the word obsession is more associated with Beehive than it is with Drake's Sixes.
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's. I genuinely don't even think it's that deep as far as like the obsession with the artist necessarily. I just think Beyonce wouldn't allow herself to be grabbed around the neck.
All right, cool. Let's move on. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. I was gonna say because when you think about it, most even like I don't know, most women love Beyonce. They might not be like diehard super fans, like going to every concert, but most women's favorite, like at least top 3 artists, Beyonce's in there. You know what I mean?
Men's consensus that she's one of the more attractive women in entertainment right now. So, period.
And I wouldn't go so far as to say
Drake isn't one of the most attractive people that is making music. Relatable music at that across a whole spectrum of different categories of music.
What I'm saying is that when you think about the average woman or even the average like black woman, liking Beyonce is not really. I don't think that can be attributed to like too many negative traits. Now she has trolls like people that like. They
made a whole show about trolling.
Remember
called Swarm, right?
Swarm.
That was about obsession, like
exactly associated with the Beehive.
But I think
nobody's made an obsession movie or documentary associated with Drake's. It's what I'm saying. I think it has
to do with her.
Okay, hold on. Let Daniel finish his point first,
so
and then I'll
what I think is right. There's a small like minority of the Beehive who is willing to like they have a wider spectrum of what they're willing to do in the name of Beyonce.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean the whole fandom is on average crazy. You're just skewed by the small.
Yeah.
Versus like when you think about I don't know. I really think Nicki fans are kind of wild, but even
we can talk about Rihanna or Shakira.
Barb's are way more aggressive.
Let's talk about Drake. Let's talk about Drake though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say the average like diehard Drake fan is probably like, it's probably kind of like a toxic nigga, bro. You know what I'm saying? Who is probably like, if we being real, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody who's just like, So you're saying I love Drake. I love his music. The minute some wild shit comes out about Drake, is like, I'm not really fucking with Drake. You know what I mean? Like it's like I'm not tied, hand and foot to this guy. You know what I mean? So
Miguel, moving on, and great points, right? We can go back and forth, but we have a lot more show that we got to get to. All right, so Miguel soars over audience after being lifted in the air by ropes attached to his back piercings. You heard that correct, ladies and gentlemen. Majority of y'all probably have already seen the video, but for those who are not aware of what I'm talking about, Miguel, the artist, has literally had rods pierced into his back. Think hooks? About like hooks,
meat hooks
to be lifted from the ground,
right? Like metal rods pierced into his back, kind of like gargoyle style, like a figurine that you would attach wings to on the back of the person's back. Had harnesses hook onto those metal rods and suspended him in the air, and you can literally see his skin being pulled.
I want to hear your thoughts because this is something that's really intriguing to you. I can see.
For one, ain't no song gonna There's not a song in Miguel's catalog that would scream that he needs to be pulled by the back of his skin over fans.
Yeah.
Over 10 feet in the air, because they didn't lift them all the way up in the air. They were kind of
10
like
feet pretty high. Shit.
Exactly.
Do you think he maybe just into that shit? That's a thing, brother.
No. That's exactly where I was gonna go.
Yeah.
Oh, you saying he's like a dominatrix?
I think it's more revealing about his personal interests. 100%.
That's a whole kink, bro. That's a whole thing. Like,
because when I think of that, for some reason I'm thinking of like a larger white woman.
What?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I've seen that before.
A larger white woman.
Yeah,
for
not
sure.
attractive, and they're just hanging her
like a pig.
Like, what the hell? Wow. Fucking shit.
That nigga's tripping.
Wow, bro.
Boy, if you don't get
That's not what I was thinking at all.
But no, I'm thinking just because they had like
a larger white woman.
Larger people have looser skin, so it's like probably easy and less like.
I don't know
harmful.
why, but in my mind, I'm picturing like the pigs at HEB, the grocery store, in the meat market, the slaughterhouse. I'm sorry.
What the fuck?
The meat markets that send their meat packaged to HEB.
Views expressed of some
The slaughterhouse is what I'm saying, basically.
Yeah.
All right, but what I'm saying is that, for one, I mean, like, he is a rock star, right?
Is this a new conceptually? This is a very new. This is a novel thing to you. Like, this is mad weird, right?
I mean, he's the first artist of
that
his.
you've seen do some shit.
Yeah,
like
I've never seen Steven Tyler or Kurt Cobain or anybody within the rock realm.
Because at the end of it all, he could have just strapped on a harness and gone that way.
Right, because I've seen people bash their heads with the guitar and beer bottles and stuff. Yeah, I've never seen somebody
question for y'all.
get a piercing in their back and suspend themselves in the air.
Yeah.
Bro, if your back skin rips off, you are now...
It's not going to rip off. That's actually, it's a very resilient muscle.
Yeah, they have a.
So that's why he did it then.
I mean, people do it. Here's
like
my point.
It's associated with BDSM.
It's a kink.
What is
BDSM.
BDSM?
It's.
Oh, you don't know the acronym? Look it up.
It's sadomasochism. Sadomasochism. It's like
sadomasochism. What?
So the S is like, one of them is like you get a kink out of causing harm.
It's like something, maybe, I don't know.
There's
something dominatrix or
BDSM, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Something
BDSM sex. What does it mean? BDSM is a way of having sex.
Type in acronym.
BDSM is a term used to describe sex that involves dominance, submission, and control. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. All right, cool. The practice typically involves one partner taking on a more dominant role during sex while the other is more submissive.
Yeah.
Okay. According to a 2016 study, nearly 47% of women and 60% of men have fantasized about dominating someone in a sexual context.
Like being stabbed in the back and suspended while somebody performs sexual acts on you. Okay. So it's a whole thing, by the way. It's a thing. So like,
my body just numb.
How you're so like this is so there's like a natural aversion. Man, what the hell is this? This is a thing that's like this match. So my question to y'all is, because you make a really good point, bro. You're like, what, homie could have just put a harness on and, like most people, and swung. They even have harnesses now. The technology has evolved such that you can't even tell homie has anything on. Like it looks like he's just flying.
Yeah.
He basically putting it out there, like, "Hey, I'm into this shit."
That was as much part of the performance as the song itself, right? Do you think that homie's into that?
Hell yeah! Now that I know that's associated with that, then that's because the way that
commitment.
His music,
like that.
He has a song called "Do You Like Drugs? Do You Like Drugs?" Well, me too.
Well, apparently,
and he's all into that psychedelic. Let's take shrooms and let's fuck until the morning, break of dawn. Let's take ecstasy. Oh, he's into all of that shit.
When we were in college, I read a story that there was a woman who she came up to him and told him that she was a sexuality major or something like that, and and he, like, apparently she claimed that he proceeded to immediately like try to pull her breasts out or something like that, or like just kind of like assault her or something.
Oh, he didn't know. He was like,
I thought oh, like that was the open invite.
Yeah, that was the cue.
Yeah, to know my major.
Let's go to a sex house.
Sexual.
Yeah,
it's crazy. So just because of that story, like, makes me think, okay, maybe this is him trying to express himself, bro. That shit
mad weird, yo. Hey, I'm sexual. Oh, let me just pull your titties out.
That's crazy. Well, have you heard of the white dude? They made a whole documentary about him.
Wild.
I forgot his name. He's got a real white name.
Jeffrey,
like Hunter or something. But he's I don't know what his name is, but he played the Winklevoss twins in The Social Network.
Oh shit!
What's his name? He's been on a lot of like kind of like.
Wait, what the hell he do? Oh shit!
he was into some BDSM shit, and to the point where like he was just like you got to read some of the stuff.
He looked like he like being embarrassed. That shit get mad different. You know what I'm saying?
Like he would like the messages that the women leaked were about like they involved cannibalism.
Oh,
Damn, bro.
Yeah, like he wanted
Army
to, like,
Hammer
Army,
and
Army.
yeah.
I said Hunter, but it's
Yeah.
Army Hammer.
That's-
Is it Army Hammer?
That's exactly what that is.
Okay.
That's literally insane.
Josh Pence.
That is the most. That's not even a white name. That's an American ass name.
Bro.
Army Hammer.
No. That's
Wasn't
what
D-
Texas Hammer.
It was USA. What the Trump said. They didn't find DNA. They found USA.
All right, and then the last bullet point. We don't have to spend a lot of
we
time on
done.
this because it's just I just want to
That's
get y'all's
crazy.
quick, like 40-second, natural, authentic response to this. Foot Locker, the shoe store that we have known that we grew up with, that we have gotten like all
They
of
go
our
out of
notable
business.
kicks. Yeah, their shares have been
Oh,
declining.
word. Damn.
Yeah.
Wait, but don't Foot Locker
Is that
and
just-
Champs aren't they part of the same company?
Okay.
Well, that Foot
All right,
Action.
let me
That's
read
Foot
it.
Action and
Let me-
Champs.
So, according to Forbes, shoe retail Foot Locker has a sizable share decline in quarter two. The retail's shares dropped by a whopping 33%. Their total sales their total sales only dropped by 9.9%.
Oh, that's not.
So, but
But I mean, they're not
They're about to
shutting
be-
down.
No,
They're
it
not-
just
not
means they're
yet,
about to be
but-
downsizing though.
Yeah,
look, it's leading to downsizing.
bro.
We've
people
seen
shop online now.
Yeah, I mean, and there's so many different like third party shoe vendors.
Yeah.
And
You don't
stuff,
have to go
like-
into a brick and mortar shoe store ever again if you don't want to.
Right, exactly.
I like to
like
shop
they got
online.
what is it? Goat. So they got Goat
so many
now. They got
StockX, Goat. There's- I mean,
sneakers.
bro,
They got
there's-
all.
There's so many.
But everybody wants
Digital
like the
sneakers.
exclusive shits though, right? Like,
Yeah.
so you're probably gonna go through either the sneakers app or try to find like a reseller or
And the bots are killing the shoe industry too
they've
by
been-
buying up all the shoes and then flipping them and for
That's what
3
ruined
times
the
the
game.
retail.
Well, I
price.
mean, it was ruined before that.
I heard about that Miguel thing, right? I mean, or not Miguel.
Shit, what he doing now?
Meek Mill. How he went to that shoe convention last week and he was.
I mean, that was game.
and the guy tried to sell them at a too high price or something.
That's $120 price difference, and he's Meek Mill, like nigga.
He tried to make too big of a deal, out of
Right? I didn't like that. I'm like, dude, you are you're in cahoots with fucking the owner of the Patriots and Jay-Z. You're part of Rock Nation. You mean to tell
And
me
I saw him
that you
at P Diddy party,
Right. $120
call nigga daddy or something.
$120
He in. Either way, you
like
slice
price
it,
difference is really sending you up the rail. Like, come on, man. Anyways,
Nah, it's about the principalities. You know what I'm saying? I dig it.
it's about the principle, right? All right, let's get into the highlight topic
Hey, slowly. Hey,
on the fitness shit, nigga.
Hey.
Oh shit, where's the okay? Sorry for the delay. All right, so since we kind of let's go back into
What?
the fitness realm, right? Fitness and nutrition. I just had a couple of other questions that I wanted to ask you. So, can a person?
He's trying to get a free like fitness plan and like goddamn.
I have a gym.
meal
The
plan.
only thing I didn't
right
show
now.
you in the house tour is
Oh, you got a home gym?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, in this
in the
garage.
garage. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. It was imperative. Actually, one of your frat brothers, man, put me on game. I went to his. He was one of the first people to get a house out here. Emmanuel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw his garage turn gym, and I was like, "Yep, I'm going to do that
You
one
put a
day."
mirror in there?
Yep. Well, like I have like little one by one mirrors, and I just put them together.
Dude,
Yeah,
Get
put the panels
you
together.
get you like get a wall or at least a portion of a wall where it's just completely mirrors.
Yeah.
Your workout's gonna change.
Oh, I know.
I'm very like
Yeah.
vain.
He like
when
looking
it
at
comes to-
himself.
bro.
So-
I do too.
when you get a good pump, like you're like, oh hell yeah, I'm coming back tomorrow.
Yeah, but because like, all right, I'll put it like this. In the past, I've not looked at myself in the mirror because I didn't like what I was seeing, right? And I would hold off until like the 2-3 week mark, and then I would look.
When you would see some difference, or
Yeah, because
You didn't look at
I'm not that.
yourself
I'll put it. I'll be honest, right? Like transparent JT right now. I don't like the before and after pics. I've never been the type to do that.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't like the journey. I appreciate the journey, but I don't like the journey. I like to just see
wanna
the
go
results
from
at the
bean
end,
to bomb.
right? But I don't want to see the before. I'm a little ashamed if that makes
even
sense.
I mean,
That makes sense.
you don't
Way
find,
too ashamed.
That makes sense.
I don't want to see myself in a bad
you
light.
think-
I'm really hard on myself too.
Do you think that's in a in one sense or another may be a limiter.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because do you know Dawn?
But I want you to expound a little bit more.
Well, you know Dawn. She's way younger than us. I think she's my sister's class, so she's like 5 years younger than me.
Okay,
but she went to UT.
Okay,
and
damn, she already graduated, and she 5 years younger than you. Damn, we old, nigga.
Yeah, I graduated from college when you graduated from high school. So this is like, there's no way I would ever know who this person is. But
well, she would go viral on the internet because she would post a lot of bikini pics, and she was, fair. It's not even unfair to say she was very much overweight, like extremely. You know what I mean? And but you couldn't help but admire it because out of through all the hate, like she was continuing to post because she learned.
She's like, okay, watch this.
That's
so there's a lot of like. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's okay to like. I don't think it's okay to promote unhealthy habits. But I don't think she was doing that. But it's also important to like
love yourself throughout this journey.
It's important to learn to like appreciate like where you currently are, and only at that point can you like actually like have the energy and the motivation to actually move somewhere.
I understand
because she's if dude, hold on, I'm gonna pull up on Instagram real quick.
While you do that, it's yes and no for me. Yes, as in like it does limit me because I know that if I saw myself constantly in the manner that I don't want to be in, that I'm gonna be like, all right, cool. I'm nothing but celery and salads moving forward for like the next 3 weeks.
0 to 100. Like,
oh wow, what a huge!
She made a crazy
great.
No. I'm telling you, it's like she motivates me. Like honestly, and she's like,
oh yeah,
her whole page is about like fitness.
I mean, she literally
like,
looks like Lizzo in the left, and then now she looks like Megan the Stallion on the right.
I'm saying she's like, wow, awesome. She's doing a good job. Also, like transforming other people, her friends, her parents.
I must say, on the left, homegirl looked just as confident and just as
exactly.
Well, yeah.
She loved who she was then too,
and that's why I asked earlier. Like, do you think genetics and like genes and character traits have a lot to do with how fast you're going to achieve your goals? Because she might be the most confident. It looked like no matter if she had 500 pounds on her versus 160 pounds, she always had that confidence about her, and that was the motivating factor that she needed.
She had the
that was her superpower.
She had the will.
Exactly.
She loved herself
but that's
at that point that she wanted the. But I think
it's a superpower.
She could have been genetically predisposition to be larger.
I'll use myself for example. And this isn't true, but I'm just giving myself me in comparison to her. She's born with a stronger willpower than what I have, even though she's more out of shape. What are you trying to say, Dino?
I don't think that's it.
Expound.
I'm saying that when we talk about genetic predisposition, I'm saying she could have been born with a genetic predisposition to being a larger woman, and her love for herself, her affinity for who she is now and where she wants to be,
which can also be a genetic
drive to where
too.
That was her driver. Like she didn't. Like,
and I know
does that make sense?
No, it does make sense. But I'm not talking to that.
You're born.
I'm saying that in addition to that,
will to exercise.
In addition to that, to that genetic predisposition, she can also have another one.
I mean, yeah,
another trait. That's what I'm talking about, though.
And a lot of bodybuilders, right, will have kind of what you're talking about, and even though they might have an outwardly impressive physique or a genetic predisposition to
building muscle mass.
Yes, to their body responding well to trauma, because that's all lifting weights.
Yeah. Terrible.
They also have. You see a lot of this in the bodybuilding industry.
Confidence,
dysmorphia.
Look.
So listen, because
that's what I have.
A lot of both men and women. It's like, okay, well, this amount of muscle is not enough.
Yeah.
So this time I'm gonna take enhancements. I'm gonna a lot of the women have and some of the men too, fillers in their face, their lips, so you can a lot of boob jobs. Well, that also comes from losing breast because of the hormones they're taking.
Oh, okay. Right,
and cool. just building muscle too. I guess that kind of contributes, but
and triangles.
Yeah, but it's just.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that to answer your question from earlier, right? As far as that being a limiting factor of me not looking at myself in the mirror, I don't you see what I did there, Dino? I circled it back.
Back to you, main character syndrome.
So
no, not even.
Okay.
Go ahead. It's all about
This
you.
nigga is, so he's the villain this season
ahead.
for sure. He has been the villain thus far.
Go ahead.
But when I'm trying to like when it comes to looking at myself in the mirror at the beginning, like the before and the after, I don't like doing the before for two different reasons. Yes, it is limiting me because I know that if I did look at it, that would be motivating for me, and I know that I would get right on track and do exactly what I need to do. But I also it doesn't limit me also because I know I'm aware of the work that needs to be done, but I also want to enjoy life, and I'm okay with it taking longer to get there.
100%.
And the building blocks, right? And also I do have body dysmorphia as well.
So you see yourself different than other people?
I do because I used to ask Sam like the roles the stereotypical roles of a man and a husband and a wife are flipped for me and Sam when it comes to like
elaborate.
I would ask Sam like, babe, you think I'm fat? Babe, you think I'm yeah. And then she'd be like, you're fine. Like, geez, get out my fucking
then my
face
mama pull up and
about
like,
that.
Damn, boy,
and then I work out for like 3 weeks straight, and then I'm like, well, now how do you like me now, huh?
I'm dead.
And
you were showing your triceps earlier, bro.
And that's one of my best features. It's my arms. And I like showing those off because like I'm proportionally fit, and that's my goal, right? As far as like my physical aesthetic, I want to just look like a sizable mannequin size. I just want to look good when I take my shirt off, like all around. I want to look like Daniel, right? And so that's part of the reason why I wanted him on the show was to kind of like talk. No, not necessarily.
Give me the game, Danny.
No, but I wanted him to speak more so on what he's witnessed as a personal trainer since he's been in that. He's been certified in that, right? And also to kind of like unpack and uncrack the myths, right?
I think a big part of like what you're talking about is, I'm gonna bring it up again, is understanding and getting comfortable with the concept of duality. Okay. And here's why I say that is because even though you don't like, your before pictures or your starting point, you literally cannot appreciate the next point without it. You know what I'm saying? If you
what's your point of reference?
Exactly.
Yep.
Like let's say like if everything, like if all you saw was like black, like the whole
nothing,
all your vision was just black, right? And that's the only way I can explain it right now because you'd actually have seen something else than black.
Right.
Black would not exist because if everything is black, then nothing is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
there's
the norm.
There's no yin and yang. There's no positive.
There's no inception
because all you know is this.
If there's
just
there's nothing to
existing
distinguish
in the
it
space.
from. You know what I mean? Versus like existence versus non-existence. So it's like, understanding like, oh, okay, I don't like this. Yet I appreciate the fact that I don't like
difference. It's okay to not like it.
That's what's going to take you to get into liking it. You know,
and how do I make sure? What do I need to do to make sure I don't look like this moving forward in the future? Cool. Tell us a myth about nutrition that we wouldn't know about.
Well, it was kind of already brought up earlier today, and that's intermittent fasting.
When I said that your eyebrows raised up.
Yeah.
Okay, let me hear that.
No, that's like, especially for I don't know, I think men, because it has a big impact on our what's called HGH, human growth hormone production, which influences testosterone production. It's like an anti-aging serum, if you will.
Yeah, I need all that.
But ultimately, the problem with like the food that we're eating, right? It's so, for lack of a better term, simple, right? Your body is not really working to break it down. Yeah. It's a lot of heavy in sugar, simple carbs, right? It makes us insulin insensitive.
Yeah.
Right. So like our body, when you eat white bread, when you eat highly processed foods, sugars, your insulin just spikes and then goes down versus like, vegetables, sweet potatoes, like, healthy cuts of meat versus like processed meats.
Essentially the checkpoints versus like the 0 to 100.
Exactly. Then your insulin level, like it'll kind of stay steady. Right.
Okay.
Now the way to kind of balance that out is by literally try going extended period of time without eating. Like just go 16 hours, 8 of those you sleep anyway. Right.
Yeah,
and then have 8 hours of like feeding, and that'll do much more than like any kind of supplement Now, obviously, at the end of the day, right, whether it's weight loss or weight gain, it's all math, right? So your body burns,
kind of like real estate, right?
Hey, your body burns calories, right, in order to survive, to pump blood throughout your body, to digest food, to even to go to sleep. Your body has to burn something, to recover. So that's called your total daily energy expenditure, TDEE.
It's a lot of letters.
Okay, let's just say that's just your total expenditure, right?
Boom.
Yeah, okay.
All right, how many calories you're burning a day just to exist?
Yeah.
Then you factor in how many calories you're burning while you work out, right? And then you add the calories if you work out, add the calories that you eat, right? So if your body burns 2,000 calories a day, you eat 2,500, you're in a caloric surplus. The more you do that consistently, you're gonna gain weight.
Yeah.
If you're in the negative, you're gonna lose weight. And it's just that simple. It's just that simple.
Yep.
Okay,
so,
what if you are genetically sorry.
Go ahead.
You gonna ask
I'm
a
eating
question
ice.
with
My
a whole
bad,
bunch
my
of
bad,
ice in your
y'all.
mouth?
I gotta get this off though.
Goodness gracious.
What if you're genetically predisposed to like being skinny, bro? I have not been able to put on weight doing all that caloric.
Well, your math is off.
caloric.
Well,
That's what that means.
No, but like I promise I'll have my.
You'd have to count it. You'd have to count it to know for sure. Because just like I said earlier, right?
And he
it's
does not.
It's how
I
it's
had
how
a bad
count.
fast metabolism though. Like
it's like having a fast metabolism is a real thing. But in order to like actually see like, okay, how much am I eating? How much is that worth on a caloric standpoint? And then how much am I burning?
Yeah.
That's how you're going to figure out, okay, like this is how much I need to eat if I want to gain weight.
He doesn't eat enough. And I know people that are thinner than him, and he doesn't eat enough consistently throughout the day. There was a guy that was thinner than him.
Eating his ass off?
And yeah, he had spaghetti. He got sick of it. But
Yeah.
he literally physically got sick, but he was like, I got to keep going though. So he took 2 days off, and then he went back to just carving it up and eating steaks and meats.
It's ridiculous.
Chicken breasts.
He was trying to gain weight?
Yeah.
Well, because I had
he
a
was
homie
thinner
who-
than Dino,
homie
and then
who's a
he
power
now
lifter.
looks like you.
He's like, yo, you can get it, but you gotta eat. Like,
You gotta
what he
work.
described to me sounded
Now,
like I would
Caloric,
like, it sounded nauseatingly like it was too much.
well, it's just like trying to like increase your water intake, right? Like at first you're like, okay, you might have to set a timer for every.
Yeah.
Can you put this
thirsty.
jug in front of the
Yeah,
camera
bro,
so that
go
people
ahead.
that are
So this
watching
is-
can see how much water you're taking? And
is a
for our
gallon.
listeners that aren't watching, so he has a huge jug. How many gallons is this?
This is 1 gallon.
This is 1 gallon.
Yeah.
And on it's two different measurements. There's a drop that has 7 a.m., 9 a.m., all the way to 9 p.m. When he's expected to start and finish the water. And then on the right side, it has like the milliliters and the ounces as
Yeah,
far
the
as
volume
tracking how much he's drinking at different times of the day. And so sorry to interrupt, but I just feel like that you
No, for
mentioned
sure.
water intake.
Because what you did say is like increasing your water intake.
100%. If you're wanting to drink more water, but you're only drinking water when you're thirsty, then you're never going to drink more water.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's
So
you
what-
have to-
what is-
Oh shit! He said, homie, you got to eat when you're not hungry.
100%.
That made me like I'm trying to
What makes
imagine.
it- what makes
I've
it
had my
easier-
stomach be so full that it felt like it was gonna pop.
what'll increase your appetite for sure is resistance training.
Okay, so you got to
If you're running fast or if you're lifting weights, or even just moving your body weight more than what is it's normal or what it's used to, it's going to demand more energy after a while.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah, it's
I
a lot
felt
that
that
goes into
as well.
that, so
I do intermittent fasting currently right now. I bought a whole lifetime subscription for this app to help hold me accountable, right? And I do the 16:8
that's the best one.
ratio, right? And it's realistic too. Like it's like when I'm on the verge of like, oh my gosh, I can't take it anymore. I need to eat something. It's time for me to eat, right? And you had mentioned something earlier. We already sleep anywhere from we're supposed to sleep 6 to 8 hours a day.
Yeah, so that's going to cover a good portion.
Exactly.
Of the fast.
And I learned and I've heard through the grapevine that grapevine, is it grapevine or grape?
It's great.
Grapevine, right?
fruit.
Yeah. That
don't ask me why shit
if you-
is that. I mean, I don't know.
if you stop eating 3 hours before, the key is to stop eating 3 hours before you go to bed, right?
Yeah.
So 3 plus 8, that's 11 11, right?
11. Mm-hmm.
Why we struggle with doing math right on the spot?
Say
So that's 11. And then basically you're all 5 hours left. If you wake up like at 6 o'clock, then you got plus 5, you can eat at 11. So find a way. And I work out in the morning.
And I don't break fast till like 1 realistically.
Oh, but it sucks for somebody like you because you love breakfast, right? So somebody like you would start fasting like at 5 p.m.
I just eat brunch on the week.
So that you can eat
Sunday for dating.
like around that 8 to
Chicken
10
waffles on Sundays,
a.m.
that's all.
time frame. So me, I despise breakfast. I enjoy lunch and dinner.
Yeah,
and so oh really?
Oh,
you
yeah.
love breakfast?
What?
Yeah,
So you want to know what I eat for breakfast?
What?
I eat 6 eggs,
Fuck, dude.
three packets of
Raw eggs or
Quaker.
cooked?
Not over easy.
Oh, over easy.
Some people do raw eggs.
Hey, nigga, exactly.
Some people do raw eggs.
Before you try to give me the fucking buzzer, nigga. I was correct.
Raw eggs, you Rocky.
Come on, son.
You Rocky
Whatever.
part
Some people do it for convenience though. They don't want to sit there and cook it. So I get that.
Well,
but there's some science out there.
That's
that
wild
says,
to the motherfucker.
It's wild.
Bro, that's crazy.
Try to play me.
There's some
I ain't
science
never heard
that
of shit like
says like
that.
cooking the whites.
You never
is
saw
healthy.
fucking Rocky?
I mean, he cracked 6 of them bitches.
He swallowed
eating a
20.
lot.
Yeah, he swallowed 20 eggs, nigga.
I mean, but
Pause,
still, like,
still.
like every. I mean, yeah.
I'm sorry, Dan. You were
That's
saying
not
something
normal,
else. I was
though.
trying to make a
No, that's
point.
Why
to
that was
it.
like a thing.
So you would eat 6 eggs.
6 eggs, 3 packets of oatmeal, 4 pieces of bacon, which I don't do no more, and then
You
a whole
replace
avocado.
You replace the bacon with a different protein, or
Or you just don't eat pork.
pork.
No, well, it's not even pork.
Turkey
It's just
bacon?
that it's just bacon. It's
You do
not-
hang around a lot of Africans and Muslims.
I'm
So
dead.
Here he go again. He finna call you 5%er. Hell no! Just because that's your reality.
Hey man, shout out to all the Muslims and the Africans out there, man. Hey.
Hold on, that's just like such a wild.
Because it was a joke. Because he don't eat. He said that he cut bacon out, but we immediately asked, okay, you cut pork out or you just cut
Africans
bacon
not eat
specifically?
bacon? Why you say Africans?
Because majority of Africans are
That's not
Muslim.
true. That's,
Okay, all right. Well then,
that's objectively not true, bro.
okay. Well, we can do a survey after this.
No. I mean,
We can
look
survey
at-
all of
we
our
can look
African
up
friends and
data.
do a poll, just like how they do in these articles.
Most of
16% out of people that we surveyed said that they don't like.
You have to be really specific, because I can see.
It depends on what part of Africa.
I can
too,
see you
like.
if you say like actual Africans. I can see that, but
yeah.
Americanized Africans.
Most of my friends
I
West
would
Africans.
say, yeah, and they're mostly like
They
Christian.
Christian in them.
Yeah.
I almost said an MF, but that
I was talking
blasphemous.
about Africans.
Okay,
Yeah.
But
that
like-
makes sense.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
Africa as a whole, but
come on.
Africa's a vast continent, my guy.
like super bad.
Vast continent that practices. What
Well, no, but like,
religion?
what's the biggest organized? What's the most practiced organized religion right now?
We're not gonna get into that.
Islam.
It's
all right.
Islam,
Yeah.
so it has to do with
Yeah,
Africa.
you don't remember that scene from Superbad?
Yeah.
It was either McLevin or Muhammad. What the fuck would you pick Muhammad? It's the most common name.
Riddle me this, Daniel. So,
What's good? What's good?
Real shit.
can a person? And this is going to speak directly to a question that I really personally want to know, but I think our listeners that are
What should my meal plan be?
millennials would want to know: can a person really be in shape and get in shape if they drink on the weekends?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Drink, smoke.
How?
Now,
What
okay.
what would they have to
What's
do
wrong with drinking?
according to the formula, the math formula of caloric intake, working out,
Okay.
and then fasting?
My thing
Oh,
is,
and nutrition, I guess.
now there may be if I would advise that maybe for the first like 4 to 6 weeks, maybe do no drinking at all, just because if your body's working on muscle repair, trying to filter out a poison is going to take a lot. It's going to basically like say, okay, we're putting this on the back burner and prioritizing like working this liver to get this shit out of here. That's how bad alcohol is. Just being
Maybe that's
real.
why I got rhabdodialysis when I was trying to gain weight that time because I was drinking like a motherfucker.
Damn.
I'm not gonna lie. I think that's what's holding me back. Like the number one thing.
Now
I
let's
can
say-
let go of sweets like in a heartbeat, right?
Yeah,
but
it's
I
easy.
like drinking is associated with social events,
I
can
and
let
I'm
go
a
of that
very
too.
I'm a social light, right? It's
It's
why we have this podcast, right?
Yeah.
Like I love interacting and engaging with
social
humans,
butterfly.
and what we're doing right now, we're drinking. So
No,
I
no, I
would
got
limit it
water.
if you could limit it to like, and this is tough, but I would say like start. It's all
you
about
already said 6 weeks, no
look,
drinking.
Well, look, let's say this, but it's all about
something
it's
a
all
little
about
easier.
Everything's relative, right? So let's say if you started with like, okay, I'm gonna dwindle my drinking until I reach a certain point and then resume it.
That's why I said the weekends.
You could do weekends. You could say like, okay, I'm gonna start with like, okay, Friday, Saturday, I'm gonna have 2 vodka waters each
And that's
day.
it.
I about to say you gotta actually, because like if you say just weekends, but then in weekends you can hammer it, you smashing out. You having 10 shots a day.
But it's so many different factors. Because if let's say if somebody is say, well, I just drinking brings me so much fulfillment in my social environment, right?
Right.
It's possible. It's possible to where you attribute it to like, I don't know, just what your enjoyment of life or just your ability to like accomplish your other goals or just be in a mental state that you want to be in, right? Let's say you were to say like, okay, I'm not gonna give up drinking, but God damn it, it's not gonna be a single night where I don't get under 8 hours of sleep. And I'm not gonna fuck up on my meal plan not once. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna clean up these other areas gonna be so tight to where I can drink. Fuck yeah, you could do it. You know what I mean? Like so
there's some level of discipline.
There's so many different factors that when it comes to fitness, right? That like as long as you are like serious about like whatever it is the end goal is, you can do it.
Yeah, I think what I have to do is just literally look at alcohol as a poison to my body. Like every time that I do it. I mean, I need to do it more so as like figuratively for me to process
poison
it.
Still worth it though?
No, like I need to get to the point where I'm saying no. Like I cannot drink this because it's literally going to cut my legs off.
Dude, I mean, there's so much research.
That's how dramatic I gotta
be about the effect on brain chemistry and your cognitive ability, like later on in life.
Fuck,
like just how little. Too late.
Hey yo, I'm stopping drinking tonight.
Too late,
right now.
You already fucked that shit.
Hey yo, like I'll put it like this. I would have to be so dramatic to where I'm like looking at alcohol as every time I take a sip, it's etching off a day
you're dying.
of my life. Right,
yourself.
Exactly.
Well, we die every day though. We wake up and die.
That's right, and that's the tough part about it. Everything is in moderation. Like
you can work out every day and still be dead before your partner who didn't do shit but drink Kool-Aid and eat fried chicken every day.
Yeah, that's what really fucks me up. Versus people that have been eating fried chicken, Jack in the Box, and drinking 40s and all their whole life, and they live to 95.
Yeah,
and then somebody would literally freaking
can folk in the sip right now.
Yeah,
outliving all your people. And they ain't doing shit but bullshit.
That's genetic predisposition right there.
But they breathe cleaner air, or they work factory jobs, which keeps them more physically fit than the average guy.
Shit, they working out by just thinking. They just like, man. All right. Anyways, Daniel,
yes, sir.
Did you have a point you were saying? I mean, I know.
No.
We do
ultimately, like it's just so many different factors, bro. And the most questions I get, people are looking for like the black and white. Hey, do all of this and do none of this. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's what they want is here. Just they want a very like
binary.
Strict, but everybody's like so different. Everybody's body's very different on how they react to certain foods, certain habits. So fitness is a lot of like, science and the fact that it's just trial, error, observation.
Patience. Would you say it requires patience? Because I feel like knowing that we live in a society like
instant gratification.
Yeah. Just, I mean, that is the current. We traffic in current, like in social currency, like in social capital. But everybody needs, give me the right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like a lot of people's probably apprehension with jumping in, and I mean, hell, myself included, not even just people like me, is like, man, I happen to really enjoy the journey. Like I tell him all the time, we got to celebrate the small victories. We can't just be so hyper focused on the goal that we don't celebrate the journey and getting there. I think there's so much good in that journey. But I mean, to his point, not everybody really is.
That's why I feel like your goals should be process oriented, right? So instead of like let's say if your ultimate goal is to like, okay,
goal have multiple objectives and checkpoints to get
checkpoints is a big part. Smart if you you want to be at a certain weight, or if you said, I want to like look a certain way, right?
Yeah.
The most immediate goal is like, okay, I want to go to the gym 3 times this week. Just go. Even if half the time you're on your phone.
Yeah.
Just your attendance is something more than what you were doing last week, the week prior. You know what I mean? So like,
Not
when
if
you
you're
hit
in
those-
your head and you're like, man, what the fuck am I doing? Am
But
I even
that's-
serious?
But that's
But
like
you're
with
still there.
tripping.
That's still a dub.
yeah, but that's going to motivate me to. That's not going to be motivating
dub.
for me to come back. I'm going to be discouraged, and now I'm not going back next time. I'm going to like take 2 days off because I know.
Well, but
like,
you chose that outlook though. Like what he's saying is like you being there is a dub.
how do we get to that point where we don't choose that outlook?
Therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, my nigga, because we can't.
I got my first appointment September 6th.
turn
I'm
up.
ready for
Yeah,
it.
we got.
Sorry, again, fuck. I cut you off, Daniel, and
But this is good
See?
stuff because I feel like everything that you're talking about is actual
As a people- yeah,
relatable
yeah, for sure.
perspective. You know what I mean? And like,
I give you that for sure.
I don't know. Even like my stuff may not be about fitness, but there's a lot of things that everybody experiences, like a sense of hopelessness or helplessness. Like, damn,
Yeah.
no matter what, there's nothing I can change about like wherever this is going
Blank,
or like
yeah.
the outcome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people that could be drugs, alcohol, gambling, sex.
Okay.
Promiscuity.
when
anything.
do you think is the best time to work out? Morning, afternoon, during work,
For me, it's
after?
in the morning. Absolutely.
Same here.
Absolutely. Because it's like
5 a.m., 6 a.m. club.
the,
for you?
crazy.
I'm not that early. I could like if I'm. It depends.
I know
on my
people that
work
do
schedule.
earlier.
I was
been
a
on-
nighttime guy, but I'm a night owl. Like
Well, it for like
my
for,
natural
depends on
circadian
your
rhythm
schedule,
is
but-
definitely
100%,
I'm
100%. For me,
But
it's
generally
like,
speaking,
for me, like the closer I get into the night, the more I'm like gonna want to like, especially after work, I'm gonna want to chill. I'm gonna want to like have
unwind.
my own time, whether that's like binging some anime, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
or like
yeah.
Because I just don't wake up and I'm ready to watch a show or play a video game and stuff. I got to be in the mood for that.
Yeah.
I'm never in the mood to work out, but at
when
least
you-
I'm knocking that shit out first thing in the morning.
and you'd be surprised on how much it motivates you. Like even like the concept of doing
I have to
anything in
give
the
it a
morning,
try,
starting
yeah.
your day about completing a task, whether that's like making your
Oh
fucking
no,
bed.
that's real.
Yo.
There's scientific evidence about like that's and me and my lady big on that. You not making the bed, it's like what's going on.
I mean, it could literally be anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Like okay,
Completing
like,
something.
100%. Like let's say like okay, like there's a lot of science that says okay, within the first hour of you waking up, try to get 8 ounces of water or any kind of fluid. Really,
Let at least be water be the first thing you put in your body.
100%. And so let's just say like
Anything
okay,
else.
I just want to drink a glass of water in the morning every morning, or I want to take 5 minutes to like literally do nothing but like meditate. or sit and
Meditate,
think.
yeah. Spend some time with yourself.
Being able to say okay, I did that.
Yeah.
It starts your day off
That's
totally
real shit.
different.
That's what Isaiah from 2 episodes ago had talked about,
That's real.
saying that when he's in the gym, he takes away. Let me preface it by saying that he was our real estate expert that we had, but he was saying that whenever he's at the gym, he doesn't listen to any music. He doesn't look at anybody. He turns his phone off, and he just focuses solely on the workout, and that's meditate. He's doing his meditation.
It's the
and
same concept as like traditional meditating, where the only thing you're focused on is like breathing.
Breathing,
Yeah.
and just being, presence.
I gotta shout out Apple Fitness, and this isn't necessarily an ad.
Boy,
but
don't shout
like,
them out.
I want to shout
The
them
hell?
out because like
It's
like
helped you.
that's it's helped me.
Yeah.
Like I never meditated before I started looking at those sessions. I used to be the physical trainer or the fitness trainer in the Air Force for my squadron, right? And there were things that I didn't even necessarily know. I just told them like how to work out and what nutrition plan that they needed to follow. And them motherfuckers was way out of shape compared to like these people that are out here in the real world, right? And so I know it's kind of ironic, right? In the military, like ain't no fat people in the military. No,
No, I didn't say that. I've seen fat ass cops and fat ass everything.
but what I'm saying is that what was I talking about?
I don't have no idea.
All right, anyways.
Yeah.
What
Oh, I did have a
working out in the morning essentially like will determine the rest of your day. I feel like you can have the shittiest day, but at least you completed a workout.
I can see that. I
The
haven't.
longer I wait to do my
I haven't
workout,
given that a try.
the more likely I'm gonna find an excuse not to go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like
Yes,
that's just-
exactly.
that's just
Come
me personally.
on,
That's
man.
just me
Yes,
personally.
because when I don't work out, bro, I feel terrible. I feel like that I cheated myself. I cheated on myself.
Yeah, because
when I don't work
you
out
get to like
on the day that I feel like on the day that I feel like I'm supposed to work out.
yeah, you'll get to like 8-9 o'clock and you're like, I'm gonna have a shitty workout anyway, or it's gonna take too long, or like I'll just start fresh tomorrow, and then now you in your anti cycle now.
I despise back day.
Oh man, you got to fall in love with it.
I despise.
You gotta fall
You know
in
how
love
everybody despises leg day? No, back day. I hate it, but I fall in love with, back day always fell on a Tuesday for me, and Tuesdays were the shittiest days because that was the day that I had my one-on-one with my manager, and it was fucking the first meeting early in the morning at 8 a.m. That meant that I had to wake up at like 4:30 and be in my gym by like 5:30. You know what I mean? And oh my gosh, it was dreadful. But now that I don't have to meet with her anymore, I got a new manager.
That don't mean nothing. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, Daniel has a point. You got to fall in love with the thing that drives you up the wall the most and drives you crazy. Because once you fall in love with that, everything becomes easier. I look forward to the arm days because I love how my arms look and the chest.
I would take arms out if I was you.
Why?
Because it's like you're gonna touch some of that in your chest. And
yes. So
correct. With chest, you're gonna naturally hit triceps by this pushing motion. With back, with a pulling motion, you're gonna naturally hit a little bit of biceps. Like I never have days dedicated to just arms.
Just isolating it, but I do.
I mean, you can't like what I said. That's just me.
You're
personally.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying if you wanted to like
well-rounded,
like say like you wanted to conserve as much as your time like as possible, and like okay, I want to. Try to make sure I'm hitting
maximize.
I guess your efficiency, but like, shit. If I'm having like kind of like an off week or whatever, and I'm like, shit, I want to hit chest and back more than I have on my program because that's gonna motivate me. Then I'm gonna do that.
All right, so walk me through this then. If I work out 5 days a week, Monday's dedicated to chest day, Tuesdays back,
okay,
technical.
Wednesday are arms. Thursday shoulders.
What's your caloric?
5 day. No. 5 day. Friday is legs. If I take out arms, what do I replace that with?
What I would do
out of those 5.
What I would do.
I told you trying to get a free workout routine out of you, bro. I told you already.
No, it's easy. You could find this on Google. What I would do is okay. Let me give you the background information.
Okay.
For muscle growth, to optimize muscle growth, you want to hit it at least. Each one 2 to 3 times a week, I would say, or every like few days. I would say twice a week. So if I was you, here's my split, right? So Monday I start with legs, right, and then I go chest and shoulders because those are both
combo.
They're like push motions, right?
Yeah.
And then I do back, which is pull, and then I repeat. So then I rest Sunday. So that's a 6 day. All right. Now if I want to narrow it to 5, I would just do legs, chest, back, legs, and then Friday just do all upper body.
Yeah.
So chest, shoulders, and back.
I used to do that, and I look completely different than what I look right now.
But like you trying to do like a 2 day, 3 day.
I
3 days.
Ain't no way.
You just got to do full body every time.
Ain't no way I'm doing 2 days.
You can still build muscle that way.
Okay.
No, don't do 2. 2 days is a waste of time. I think. That's just over.
I'm right there. But look, listen. What we haven't necessarily been speaking about is the different types of workouts and the categories of them, right?
Mm-hmm. Shout out to people who like to work out at night too, because y'all sleeping on them.
Oh, fuck y'all. Morning is where it's at. Because early bird gets the worm, nigga.
I get mad fulfillment out of like working out. When my kids are sleeping, like now's my time to kill it. I take my shower and I'm good to go. Now I can sit down and watch a couple episodes of an anime and fall asleep. Like
it's so with everything with like fitness or health. All right, there's never like a clear like, you should always do this. It's always going to depend on what your goals are.
Well,
right? Yeah. So let's say let's say if your goals are more to like tone, shred, lose weight.
Yeah,
it might make more sense to work out in the fastest state. If your goals are to like actually grow stronger, not necessarily like growing your muscles, but to actually be able to lift more weight, you might want to work out in the fed state because now your body has more energy to expend.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the like everything's going to depend.
Which is where I was because like I need more strength. I need to be able to like I need life. Fuck how I look, my nigga. I'm married. I got kids. I need to be able to lift these niggas out of a hurricane.
Yeah.
Like I wanted more physical strength. I wanted more.
That's when you call me and I show up and I'm
you crazy.
Carry them for you. I'm like, here you go, Dino.
I was gonna say what I was gonna say.
What I was saying earlier was
but that makes sense.
The different, sorry, Dino. Okay, all right, cool. So, like, what? So the regiment that Daniel was talking about earlier, that's what I did when I was in college, and I look completely different than what I look now.
Oh yeah.
Now I spend about an hour 15 each workout session.
Different.
And I incorporate cardio, hit, and then an ab segment, and then
lift?
the cool down. Yes, and I lift. So 5 different components, and so that's why I've broken out my like the weightlifting portion of my day. I only dedicate 20 minutes to that, and then the rest is dedicated to those other 4 categories.
Those are all, I mean, that's all good stuff though. Like you can't go wrong with that as long as it's consistent. Now I will say, are you doing abs to have a stronger core or to try to get abs? Because you don't need to do a single crunch if you want to do it. If you want to get abs,
no, the abs is tied to nutrition, right?
Okay, yeah, well, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. Look, and I love that we're having this back and forth dialogue because
that's
we're,
cap.
we're talking about things.
Look, I call cap.
We're talking about things.
He want abs. He want a 4-pack.
No, I do.
He got a Tupac
but
Shakur.
For our listeners, they might not necessarily. There's no way that all of our listeners knew in order to get abs. I need to focus more on nutrition versus actual core work.
That's what
because what Daniel just said, you don't have to do a single sit up in order to get abs. It's more associated with the nutrition.
That's what you're gonna say.
Yeah. No,
he did say that. You ain't been listening.
I was on that for sure. Yeah, I literally never do any form of abs. Now I still get core work by doing compound lifts, such as like back squat or deadlift, because it requires my core to be engaged.
Yeah,
but I'm not actually setting aside. I mean, don't get me wrong. It would probably benefit me to do some. What I'm saying is, you don't need to do them in order to have the 6-pack.
And what I'm picking up on also from everything that Daniel's been saying is that it's everything is tied together. So when he was saying earlier, like, dude, you don't even have to dedicate a day to your arms because you're already going to get that from chest and back day. And then with your legs, if you're already doing HIIT and cardio, you don't necessarily need a leg day either. And that's why okay, so what is the strongest muscle in our body?
It's for sure legs. Yeah.
Boom.
Your legs.
Boom.
And back.
If listeners, if you didn't know that before, you know now. You need multiple dedicated leg days. Throughout the week? Or
I mean, think about it. Anything are you ever going to be in a situation physically where you're going to have to do something from a seated position?
And you don't need them.
Did you know that 90% of people over 40 in America can't sprint?
That's crazy.
Wait,
that's wild.
40% of people in America over 40.
Oh no, over 90%. I'm sorry. 90% of people in America over 40
cannot sprint.
I mean, did y'all see that video of that lady that was clearing out her back seat and she had her infant in the stroller and the stroller started rolling down the hill?
And she couldn't go get her.
Oh,
and she couldn't. She fell, and then the Hispanic guys came and got her. They're heroes, by the way. We should seek those people out. And build a statue for them.
Surprising,
but what I'm saying is, why is it not surprising? Because of our daily regimen.
I broke my foot in my 30s playing basketball with my nephew.
Okay, you keep bringing it back to how shitty you are as
nigga. What? Kevin Hart is a
speak for yourself, nigga.
Kevin Hart's a super fit guy.
He's 44 years old,
and what he just did,
he can sprint,
and he still broke his back and is in a wheelchair.
He was sprinting with a NFL athlete.
The point is, it was too much.
Yeah.
No, he can sprint.
Homie's in a wheelchair.
You're missing the point.
Are you ever in a wheelchair?
Before that, he's been sprinting daily.
And then what happened? He got over 40, 90%.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for
the moral of the message. When you're over 40%, you need to sit your ass down.
There was so much more, but condescending D has been detrimental to this.
I know. Hold on. There's one question. That's one question I want to ask.
Go ahead.
Because it plays really. I was waiting until we got toward the end. So earlier we was talking about things that we cannot do without. Certain.
You have until the end of the song to ask your question.
You just took half the damn time out by saying that shit. So I'm gonna go double time. So there's certain things he's like, man, but alcohol, not that he's like an alky or anything, but he's like, man, I need, I want my alcohol. It's hard for me, but he's like, but if it means me looking the way I want to look, I can give alcohol up like this. It's certain things, and I use coitus with my wife just because it was easy. It was right there. Yeah, but absolutely. There's things that I don't want to give up. Things we've partaken in together that I'm listen. It don't matter. I mean, not to sound crazy, but there's certain things I'm indulging because
that makes you feel.
It's a vice.
Yeah.
Are there any vices for you that, regardless of
oh, for sure,
wherever you that's something you got to get into?
I don't know. I enjoy my fair share of THC. I enjoy my fair share of Southern foods, very indulgent, soulful foods. Shit.
Yeah.
You know, gumbo, fried chicken, all of that shit. You know what I mean? Like, but it's just understanding, like, okay, if I want to be able to like enjoy those things for a longer period of time, I also have to do what I need to do on the back end.
Yeah, to compensate for the yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
Did you want to talk about your vice? Do you know?
I mean, we've spoken about.
We kind of do need to wrap up, by the way, because of timing and because.
Wrap up. Tizzle, what's your vices? Let's go.
No. You can go. I'm just saying, like, just be mindful of.
That was it. I mean, I kind of started off with.
What's your vice?
I would say definitely partaking in the herbal essence. I definitely think that one of the things that, like, man, regardless of if it's something that is going to be, see, it sounds crazy saying it out loud, like not harmful to me, but like if nutrition or whatever is not a factor in me partaking, like to your point, compensating on the back end, yes, absolutely. It's going to be things like, bro, it's not healthy necessarily to sit down and watch TV, but there's certain times I'm going to take time to just. I think
the weed is taking an effect on how long-winded you are.
And I'm dancing around it.
You just been dancing, bro.
I'm trying to think how to say what I want to say without saying it.
Now we starting to see
mad crazy
because what I want to say, you got straight to the point. After the weed, bro.
No, the weed has nothing to do with it. Literally, it's like
you're talking to somebody who doesn't smoke weed, and I've witnessed how concise you were before you smoked.
It's not
before
we
started the session versus when we're live, and you after effect.
It's how you word certain things without sounding crazy. Because what I was gonna say was like,
what effect does it have on you?
What do you mean?
The weed. Why is it a vice for you?
Why did I say weed was a vice? I don't smoke weed.
You talking about. All
right. Let's go. Let's move on. No. We're moving on to the toast. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all that we have for this episode. Or thank you for indulging in the conversation.
Hey, any final thoughts?
Of all the final thoughts, Daniel.
Final thoughts.
You didn't say your vices, JT. By the way,
I'm so dead.
I know liquor was one of them.
Graphic tees.
Oh, shopping. Yo, you got to stop. I'm gonna say it for saying.
Yeah, I am definitely exuding stereotypical niggadom
material. Bro, he got about 4. Every time I come over, he got a new gold chain on his neck.
I did buy multiple chains for particular occasions. I bought shoes for multiple occasions.
You need to slow down, G.
You just got to work it in to where you can get it for free.
Now listen, Daniel, here's a problem because like with my vices, right, or indulging.
You already said it. You said it's weed.
But here's the thing. Why it's not just weed. I say like sitting down and binge watching TV, for instance. That's being sedentary. That's not a healthy thing. But here's the thing. Working out can offset those things. You can't work out and offset your shopping like vices.
Yeah, I gotta go broke, or I gotta be in a position to.
You gotta offset it. I think you gotta offset it to some capacity.
I could use this to tie into a final thought. Taking care of your body, like, has lasting and rippling effects on the other elements of your life. So if you are practicing healthier habits, right, and are working out, your strength from your physical strength bleeds into your mental and emotional strength.
Come on,
that was good. I like how you tied that up. That was that was mental gymnastics.
And he dispelled the shit that jab that you were trying to make at me, nigga. So yeah,
I don't
take that. Take that. How do you not take that? He spoke in complete contradiction to what you just said.
I disagree 100%.
Whatever.
I think what he's saying is you got to...
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the toast.
Mental.
Our segment.
Physical,
and we're also incorporating a new tradition with our traditional segment of the toast. And we
traditions on tradition.
We want to do toast and tokens. Toast as in we will, of course, cheers to our guest. And everything that we've talked about, but also we want to give you a memento, aka a token of your attendance.
Sir,
so thank you so much for being here.
My laptop,
just a little bit of just appreciation and for you, a good takeaway for you. And without further ado, behind the
There you
letters.
go.
Can
I
you
knew we had him
please
somewhere. There you go.
get the shots,
Stuck to them.
the caloric edition that we're going to add.
Hey, good Lord.
And I just found out that was a word, by the way, a couple of weeks ago.
You can use it, but you've been using it right.
Yeah, exactly. Like in Spanish, right? You're supposed to practice it daily,
until it's
right?
normal.
Until
That's
it's
right.
normal to you,
Which is
right.
crazy. This is a tangent, kind of, but my baby's in what is it called? Spanish immersion.
Oh, that's awesome.
My first grader, and she comes home just like with random Spanish vocab, like that
yeah.
means da, 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 da. I was like, oh, that's dope. She knows that word.
Bro.
Bro, that's mad, bro. That's crazy. What is
It was a mistake.
wrong with you? Like, yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
That's his vice.
Toast to Daniel. What was my vice?
Like that, nigga, whatever you call that.
Joke.
Toast to Tarzan Dan, Daniel Haskin for joining
Appreciate
us.
y'all, man.
And then toast to you all for listening to us. We appreciate
Yes,
y'all.
sir.
We hope that y'all enjoyed all the gems that we've been leaving in the trails. Cheers to y'all, man.
Hey, got the trunks on my shot glass.
Any holidays coming up? What's today?
Labor Day.
Oh, Labor Day. Hey.
Y'all got Labor Day weekend
This
coming?
episode comes out on Labor Day. So we hope y'all enjoyed that. Take the day off if you can, or sometime during the week or later on. I know all of our road warriors and our warehouse workers, y'all don't necessarily get Labor Day off, but make
More than
sure that y'all
But
enjoy that
Take
day
some
at
time
some
for you,
point.
man.
Absolutely.
Take some time off and take some time for you. And if you can't take some time off, then goddamn it, cheers to y'all for the fucking grind, man.
What the fuck?
And that's all we got, ladies and gentlemen. Follow the Potnas on all social media platforms, starting with Dino.
Hey, man, you can find me at the Dictionary at THE_DIXONAR.
Hey, Daniel.
Hey, Tarzan Dan. That's Tarzan _DANN.
That is 2 N's, ladies and gentlemen. Tarzan _DANN. And you can find me at... You can find me at I Know JT. Follow the Potnas Podcast. That is at POTNAS Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube for all of our latest content.
Yes, sir.
And then visit our website, www.potnaspodcast.com
Yeah, man.
to stream all of our previous episodes and leave us a 5-star
Hey, merch
review.
coming soon, too, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta get some of that.
Yeah, we got you.
Come on, man.
Let me know when y'all do the anime crossover for real.
Oh, yeah. Hey, hook 'em horns, baby. Football is back.
Yes,
We
sir.
are going to get the dub. If we haven't already, by the time this episode comes out, we will know, what the
Hey, we
verdict is.
winners regardless.
Oh, yeah. Hook 'em horns. Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We thank y'all, man, for sticking with us. And more to come. We'll see y'all episode 56, all right? Oh, yeah.